Hi, my name is Tesney. Today, I want to imagine what Astro would look like if we deleted draw. I mentioned the other day that auto-draw after using play could simplify the burst window by potentially alleviating 2 double weaves, but that is clunky by itself and I didn't take the idea far enough. Draw could be deleted altogether. First, I have some basic assumptions for class design. There are definitely some patterns and trajectories in the game and I'm trying to work within those. The first of these is RNG utility. Bowl is never coming back to a defense buff. I think the cards will continue to be straightforward damage buffs. Astrodyne is here to stay. Nocturnal is not coming back, no matter how much I want it to. Healing playstyle of the off-globals and time delay of Astro will hopefully remain unchanged. Astro healing is generally regarded as powerful and fun. When we say Astro rework, what we really mean is change the card game again. I don't anticipate a new healer, but if for some reason we did, I would expect a pure healer. White Mage and Astro are quite different in how they feel and their class identities, so I see more room to squeeze in a new healer between those two than I do imagining a third shield healer. Astrodyne is a new ability, and it works kind of similarly to the gauge building of Bard, which makes me think that Astrodyne is here to stay. Astrodyne is a selfish buff that solves class balance and lowers the stakes of a few bad draws. Astrodyne is on a knife's edge. Either it's so important we can't screw it up and those bad redraws are so stressful, or it kind of doesn't matter, in which case it kind of doesn't matter. Divination is great where it's at, and it is validating to use. All throughout Stormblood, we fished so hard to spread cards as raid-wide DPS buffs, and as a response, we got a seal-based Divination, and then later, we got a flat Divination. I don't think we will see functional changes to Divination. With that in mind, what if there was no draw? What if our Arcana gauge held our current card plus 2 spots for undrawn cards with a 30-second timer, and it filled automatically? Like Sage's gauge, Arcana could be fully loaded in upon zoning in, duty commence, or fight reset. Wouldn't it be great if we didn't need to wait 30 seconds at the start of every pull? Pre-pull prep has been disappearing slowly from the game, and a part of me misses it, but more of me doesn't. The 30-second wait for a single card charge is too much. Starting with a full gauge wouldn't equate to more cards, just less pre-pull clutter. It could be one less button on a bloated class. It also equates to 4 fewer actions every 2 minutes. 2 of those actions are double weaves in the opener. Removing draw opens the door for a rework on redraw. But I'm not set on it either. Draw is a core ability. It's an amazing animation. I love the sound. How could I possibly suggest doing away with it? If draw isn't a thing, what of undraw? It could wind up being even more useless than it already is, and I'm okay with that. But would this make Astro feel slow or empty? And what of minor arcana? Major changes are needed to this ability, even if the card game remains unchanged. An RNG healer damage burst is the worst of both worlds, honestly. All my rants against Arcana boil down to this. It doesn't matter. It can't matter. If it matters, then we're penalized for drawing the wrong thing and not having it. It's got the same core problem as Astrodyne. We're supposed to want it, 3 unique seals, but we're also supposed to be okay when we don't get it, 1 seal. So my healing plan doesn't make room for Lady, because it can't. At best, I toss it out with the other cooldown I had planned to use, so that my Lady of Crowns is only 50% over healing, as opposed to 97%. Same with Lord. It's a nice little bonus that I use and immediately forget about like it was never there in the first place. Does it change the amount of damage we actually do? Yes and no. Yes, in that technically every little bit matters. No, in that the ability by its nature cannot be strong enough to make a difference. It's the same with Astrodyne. If it's powerful and good, it's necessary, and stressful when we don't get it. If it's not powerful, then who cares? Minor Arcana, who cares? I'd love for Minor Arcana to be shuffled back into our card game, but I recognize that we can't go back to buffing cards. I'd love for Lord of Crowns to become a 5% bonus against melee like it was, but within seconds the community would theory craft its way out of Astrodyne altogether. Playing the seal game would be a less potency than flat out mutating all of our cards to crowns. You know we would. And we know the devs can't allow it to happen. The idea of having an RNG ability is wild. Each possible outcome should feel different and meaningful, but also not required. Minor Arcana fails in the first 2 departments, and its success in the third is not a compliment. And in my little what-if scenario of removing draw, then Minor Arcana makes even less sense. It's essentially a draw from special deck. Oh, and draw restores mana, so deleting it outright got 700 per draw, which is 2,800 mana every 2 minutes. Unless both uses of Arcana, draw and play, restore the mana lost from all those missing draws. If it restores mana, the underwhelming overhealing, or overhyped nuke, would feel more satisfying to use. Tying our mana management to minor Arcana would make it more pivotal and valuable than it currently is. A lady that would be mostly overheal would serve a purpose, and I would be less embarrassed to use it. I hate the idea of deleting an ability because once it's gone, it's really gone forever. And maybe deleting draw would make Astro feel too passive, because then the cards just appear. As if Astro wasn't juggling enough already. I think it could work, and I don't think they would need to wait around till 7.0 to execute something along these lines. I understand we're not getting a rework soon, but I would like some band-aids and workaround solutions for the problems we have today in the meantime. Thanks for watching.